My wife Teresa's floating around here, and we're here tonight for my daughter Cecilia. She's the reason for this gathering, the third annual Fun for Sight Night. Before I get to her story, however, I would like to thank our gracious host, Mike and Sue Marion. I unfortunately think they're downstairs doing the last wine tasting, but Mike and Sue Marion donate the venue. They do a great basket for us every year. They're bartenders that volunteer their time and just do a wonderful thing so we can have this wonderful event. So let's give a hand out to Mike and Sue Marion. Well, I want to thank you. I really have to give a public thanks to my brother Seth and his wife Hannah for all the man hours logged and the job they do to help us between posting signs, making up signs, beg, borrow, and steal to get us these beautiful jerseys and footballs and baseballs. And all that they do behind the scenes is absolutely amazing. So thank you, Seth and Hannah. I don't think the next people here that outside are doing the wine tasting. To my dad and his wife Dale, for all the errands they ran. I don't know if you guys know, we do a lot of mailings throughout Lowville, asking for donations and baskets and gifts, and we don't live here. So when someone gives something, good old dad gets the phone call. Hey, can you run to the Lowville Farmer Co-op? Can you run to Ace Hardware? Can you run here, there, or the other place? And he mumbles under his breath, but he always goes. And then he guilts them into giving them something better. So to Dad and Dale, for all the favors cashed in and all the errands ran, I'd like to thank you guys. And the last thanks goes out to all the volunteer help, from the table workers to the bartenders to the kitchen staff. We have very little overhead because everybody here is a volunteer, and we can't do this alone. So from Teresa and I both, thank you all as well. Volunteer help. Now for Cecilia's story. Cecilia, as some of you may know, is my daughter. She's an 8-year-old, normal little girl. She does well in school, has lots of friends, loves playing soccer, swimming, and camping. She also, unfortunately, has a rare eye disease called Leber's congenital amaurosis. This is caused by the degenerative gene RDH12, and hence the name of our group. Out of just over 3,000 cases of LCA worldwide, she is one of roughly 85 kids in the country that has this disease. I've been told a lot of times that I should be grateful that the disease is not life-threatening and that people have been very successful being blind. I am truly thankful for this, for I know other parents facing more dire situation for their children, and my heart really does go out to them. It is not life-threatening illness, but it does destroy the quality of one's life. If you think of my daughter Cecilia, who can currently see the sunset or the colors of the rainbow, or the love in her mother's eyes. Now picture, if you will, that all ending and trying to deal with it. If you would, take a second, close your eyes right now, folks, and ask yourself, what would you miss most if you could not see tomorrow morning? Think about the big things. Think about the little things. And multiply them by 300, because that's what Cece's gonna miss. If we don't find a cure, her world is going to go dark. When most normal 16-year-old girls will be worried about trying to pass their eye test for their driver's license, or trying to look good for a date, Cecilia will be in a sea of total darkness. She will only have memories of a world that she once saw. Cece will not be afforded the life we so often take for granted. She'll be destined for a life of dependency, not the freedom that most teenagers crave. Cecilia's heading down a very slippery slope. One from seeing the world at 20/20 to one that's complete and total blindness. If we sit back and do nothing, this will be our reality. There's no treatment right now to chase. There's no transplant to be found. This is why we are here tonight. Because we with our friends from RDH12, Fund for Sight, said we want more for our kids, and we can't do it alone. So we had to swallow our pride and we had to ask for help, and that's why we invite all of you here tonight. The good news, since the inception of our fund back in 2010, the cure is there. We have found it. The Fund for Sight since 2011 has sponsored to the tune of $500,000 Dr. Deborah Thompson from the University of Michigan. She in turn has demonstrated in mice lacking RDH12 that gene therapy can effectively be delivered, the missing gene, to the photoreceptors. In layman's terms, we can treat the gene, the eye will stay normal. We are currently finishing this experiment and beginning discussions with FDA for a clinical trial for this gene therapy. We are hopeful that within a year and a half, this gene therapy will be injected into my daughter and the other 85 kids that we know. And it will never restore what has been lost, but it stops it at that point. Our goal, or I'm sorry, like I said, I'm not a very good public speaker, but the problem is all this costs money. Unfortunately, money makes the world go round. Our group's goal is to spend some time in London this spring, possibly next fall, in clinical trial with Dr. Ali. The clinical trial costs $1.6 million to perform. A clinical trial puts this therapy into our kids. A clinical trial, if and when successful, stops the disease and saves our kids' sights. Our foundation is currently around $900,000 in the kitty. Just over halfway there. Sad but true, in this world, it really does come down to money. We raise the money, Cece's future will be brighter. Literally. So that in a nutshell is why we're here. So thank you to those who donate to the Chinese auction, the various raffles, and simply just paid the admission to come in. It will all go to the charity. We have nothing but wonderful volunteers working here, not one dime of administrative cost. Think about it. How many of you guys participated in the ALS challenge this year, the Ice Bucket Challenge? Every cent of that money, only 27% goes to the charity. You're at a function right now where 100% of money earned goes right to the research, right to the clinical trial. So folks, this is our story. We're anxious parents that want the best for our daughter and the sons and daughters of the other 84 families that we know of. We had a lot of questions and pent up frustration when told of Cece's condition. We did the only thing that we could, and that was to put it towards a cure. The majority of you as parents would do the same thing. When our kids are involved, we don't lay down. We stand up and fight. We truly believe that Cece will be cured, hopefully sooner than later, while she can still see. Regardless though, we believe that if the day comes that her world is to go dark, she will be able to look us in the eyes with her last bit of sight and know that we went down swinging. Thank you all for allowing us to do this. Now I'm just, folks, waiting for the nod from my wife out there pulling tickets. And when we get that nod, I'll turn this back over to Jeff, and we'll announce the winners. We'll announce basket numbers, which I'm sure probably none of you remember. We'll try to say the theme on it. We'll try to say the name of who won it. What we ask is if those of you